Title: The Simpler Path. Prologue. The calm before the chaos. Long before the multiverse descended into madness, before the icy throne of Rotundra, the Tomato Planet wars, and the rise of Vince McMahon's schemes, the worlds were simpler. Macho Man Randy Savage was the undisputed champion of Planet WWF. Luke Skywalker was a Jedi Master guiding peace throughout the galaxy. And Bill Nye was just a man of science, not yet the half-fly wielding cosmic power. But things changed when the Time Stone came into existence. The artifact, capable of rewriting history and reshaping reality, threw every world into turmoil as leaders, warriors, and villains fought to control its power. Chapter 1. The Whisper of What Once Was. In the middle of the chaos, Macho Man sits on the icy throne of Rotundra, the battle scars of recent wars still fresh. Beside him, the Force ghost of Luke Skywalker meditates in silence. They've fought countless battles together, yet neither can shake the feeling that all this conflict has led them further from their true selves. Macho Man sighs, gripping the hilt of his cosmic folding chair. You ever wonder, Jedi, if we didn't need all this? The battles, the schemes, the Time Stone? Back in the day, all I needed was the ring. Luke nods thoughtfully. The Force teaches balance, but this is chaos. Perhaps we've lost sight of the path. Chapter 2. A world rewritten. Their doubts are interrupted by the arrival of an unexpected visitor. Bill Nye, in his human form, holding the Time Stone. He's broken away from Vince McMahon and his mad quest to dominate the multiverse. Bill looks haggard, his fly-like tendencies twitching at the edges. You're both right, Bill says. It wasn't supposed to be like this. The Time Stone, it's too much power. I've run the calculations. The only way to fix this madness is to use the stone one last time, to undo its creation and erase its influence on the multiverse. Macho Man is immediately suspicious. What's the catch, Nye? You've been turning worlds into fly-infested labs and fighting for power like the rest of us. Bill shakes his head. There's no catch. If we destroy the Time Stone, all of this, the wars, the chaos, will be undone. None of it will have ever happened. Chapter 3. The final decision. Before they can act, Vince McMahon arrives with Darth Vader and Doomsday in tow. Vince has no intention of letting the Time Stone disappear. His plans for multiversal control hinge on its power. What's this? A group therapy session? You think I'll let you undo my empire? Vince sneers. The battlefield is set. On one side, Macho Man, Luke Skywalker, and Bill Nye, fighting for a chance to reset the multiverse. On the other, Vince McMahon, Darth Vader, and Doomsday, determined to seize control of the Time Stone for themselves. Chapter 4. The Battle for Simplicity. The fight is nothing short of cataclysmic. Macho Man wrestles Doomsday with unparalleled grit, wielding his cosmic folding chair to fend off the beast. Luke Skywalker faces Darth Vader one last time, their lightsabers clashing in a battle that could rip the fabric of space. Meanwhile, Bill Nye uses his scientific genius to manipulate the Time Stone, working to activate its final function while dodging Vince's relentless attacks. As the battle rages, Macho Man shouts to Luke, "This is it, Jedi. This is what we've been fighting for, to stop this madness." Luke, locked in combat with Vader, replies, "Then we end it here, for good." Chapter 5. A Simpler Time. At the height of the chaos, Bill Nye manages to channel the Time Stone's power. He triggers its final ability, creating a massive wave of energy that ripples through the multiverse. One by one, the timelines collapse, resetting to a simpler state. Epilogue. The Forgotten Fight. Macho Man wakes up in the ring on Planet WWF, the roar of the crowd in his ears. There's no icy throne, no Time Stone, just the familiar comfort of the squared circle. Luke Skywalker is back on Tatooine, staring at the twin suns, free of the weight of multiversal chaos. And Bill Nye? He's in his lab. Human once more, teaching kids the wonders of science, with no memory of the madness that once consumed him. The multiverse has been reset, the chaos undone. For the first time in ages, everything feels simple. The end. Ah, so someone remembers everything. A spark of knowledge from the past, a haunting reminder that not all is as simple as it seems. Let's pick up from there. Chapter 6. The One Who Knows. While the multiverse has been reset, and life on the planets has returned to a simpler, peaceful state, something is off. Macho Man feels the unease in his gut as he steps out of the ring. Something's different, but he can't put his finger on it. Meanwhile, on Tatooine, Luke Skywalker gazes at the twin suns, a calm settling over him. But in the back of his mind, something lingers, a faint whisper from the past, a memory he shouldn't have. A battle, a time stone, a choice that echoes through the corridors of his mind. And then it hits him. He remembers it all. Chapter 7, The Unraveling. Luke's vision flashes of the battles fought, of Macho Man's wild charge against Doomsday, of Bill Nye's chaos with the Time Stone, and of Vince McMahon's ambitions. He sees himself and his allies every moment of the fight, every move they made. The multiverse, the wars, everything that had been undone. Luke stands alone in the desert, staring at the horizon. It wasn't supposed to be like this, he mutters. He remembers it all, and no one else does. No one but him. Chapter 8, The Visit. In the quiet of his lab, Bill Nye notices something strange, a flicker in his calculations, an anomaly in the data. It's faint, but persistent. Then a feeling of déjà vu. The Time Stone may be gone, but its energy left behind a trace, one that Bill can't shake. His scientific mind whirs into overdrive, trying to understand what's happening. And then Luke appears in his lab, looking as real as any science experiment. He's not a Force ghost. He's here, solid, alive, with the memories of a time before the reset. Bill, Luke says, his voice heavy, we're the only ones who remember it all. Bill's mind races. So you know what I tried to do with the Time Stone. You know about the battles, the reset. Luke nods, his face solemn. I didn't want it to go this way, but now that I remember, we have to make sure it never happens again. Chapter 9, The Ripple Effect. The memories are not isolated to Luke and Bill. Macho Man, back on planet WWF, begins to experience flashes too. He remembers the icy throne, the wars, and the Time Stone's power. He can't explain it, but the weight of it all presses on him. One night, as he stands in front of a mirror, ready to face the crowd once more, the reflection staring back at him is different. A shadow of the man he once was, someone who's lived countless battles but forgot them all. Snap into it, brother, he mutters to himself, shaking off the doubt. But deep down, he knows. He remembers. Chapter 10, The Final Decision. Luke, Bill, and Macho Man meet. Their shared memories, the only thing keeping them grounded in this simpler world. They know that somehow the reset didn't work completely. There's a deeper level to this timeline, one that's been broken, a hidden fracture that could unravel everything. Together, they make a choice. They can't let it happen again. They can't let the chaos return. I'm not going to sit by and let this slip through the cracks, Bill Nye says, determination lighting up his eyes. Science, or whatever it is we're facing, can't be ignored. Let's stop it for good, Macho Man growls, slamming his fist into his palm. We finish what we start. So someone remembers everything, a spark of knowledge from the... Whoa! Things just got even more intense. The Predator's return is like the spark that reignites the fuse. He's back, and this time, he's on a new mission. The planet Blood is a place of darkness and mystery, and it's there that the Predator stumbles upon the Power Stone, an artifact even more dangerous than the Time Stone. Unbeknownst to Bill Nye, the Power Stone holds a power that dwarfs the Time Stone, and it could change the balance of the entire multiverse. While Bill Nye is still trying to figure out the remnants of the Time Stone's energy, Darth Vader, who's always a few steps ahead, about the Power Stone's strength. Darth Vader and Obi-Wan Kenobi's childhood rivalry on the planet Shinnok, an ancient, forgotten world, holds the key to this secret. As younglings, they fought over the Power Stone, unaware of the true cost of their actions. The Power Stone, back then, was so volatile that even their combined skills couldn't contain its raw might. Chapter 1, The Predator's Awakening. The Predator, having been mysteriously revived, arrives on the desolate planet Blood. His icy teeth and tongue have been reinvigorated, and his primal instincts sharpen as he senses the presence of something powerful, a new artifact. As he searches the bleak terrain, he discovers the Power Stone embedded deep within the planet's core, hidden by ancient guardians who have long since perished. With a touch, the Power Stone awakens, sending a surge of energy through the Predator. He feels its immense power flooding his body, making him stronger, faster, and more dangerous than ever before. The Predator is no longer just a hunter, he is a force of nature, a conqueror. Chapter 2. The Hidden Truth. Back on planet Shinnok, a young Darth Vader, still Anakin Skywalker, and Obi-Wan Kenobi once competed for the Power Stone in an event that shaped their destinies. They were unaware of the stone's true potential, believing it was simply a key to power. Their rivalry grew intense, with each of them using the Force to try to outsmart the other. But when they both tried to control the stone, the power nearly consumed them. The conflict between them, fueled by the Power Stone's energy, was the catalyst for their eventual split. The stone nearly destroyed the planet, forcing the two to part ways, Anakin heading down the path to the dark side and Obi-Wan seeking peace. Now, years later, Darth Vader has seen the Predator's actions and knows the Power Stone's full potential. He understands that the stone could surpass the Time Stone in power, and he won't let anyone else gain control of it. Chapter 3. The Alliance Unraveled. Luke Skywalker, Bill Nye, and Macho Man have spent their time rebuilding, believing they had defeated the madness of the multiverse. But now, the return of the Predator and the discovery of the Power Stone threatens everything once again. Luke feels the disturbance in the Force. The Predator isn't just hunting anymore. He's been changed. Macho Man grits his teeth, the tension mounting. That stone, it's worse than the Time Stone, isn't it? Bill Nye, oblivious to the Power Stone's true nature, says, "We've got to stop him before he uses it. If he gets that kind of power, we're all doomed." But Darth Vader, watching from the shadows, has other plans. He knows the Power Stone could give him the power to rewrite the universe to his will, and he's willing to do whatever it takes to claim it. Chapter 4. The Battle for the Power Stone. The stage is set. The Predator, empowered by the Power Stone, wreaks havoc across the galaxy, crushing anything in his path. Luke, Bill, and Macho Man realize that they must form an uneasy alliance to stop him, but they're not the only ones after the stone. Darth Vader is now racing to find the Predator, knowing the stone's power is a game changer. In a brutal showdown on the planet Blood, all parties converge. Macho Man faces off with the Predator, his cosmic folding chair cracking against the stone-enhanced beast. Luke Skywalker confronts Darth Vader, their final confrontation hanging in the balance, while Bill Nye tries to figure out how to harness the power of the stone without destroying everything. As the battle escalates, it becomes clear that the Power Stone is even more unstable than they imagine. It threatens to consume everything, including the very fabric of reality itself. The Predator, feeling the stone's power grow uncontrollable, begins to lose control of his new abilities. Chapter 5. The Final Choice. At the height of the conflict, Bill Nye discovers the truth. The Power Stone has the ability to rewrite not just time, but entire realities. But its destructive potential could tear apart everything. He has to make a choice: destroy the stone or risk the entire multiverse being consumed. As Vader and Luke engage in their final duel, the Predator turns on them all, realizing that the Power Stone is too much for even him to control. In a moment of desperation, titled The Power Stone Awakens, Chapter 1, The Unlikely Heir. The battle for the Power Stone has ended, but its story is far from over. As the stone is hurled into the heart of a collapsing star, a strange cosmic anomaly causes it to fall through the cracks of reality. The once unstoppable force that threatened to consume the universe now drifts through space, lost until it crashes on Earth with a thundering impact. Peter Chen, a 15-year-old high school student, is home alone in his bedroom trying to finish his homework. The usual teenage worries weigh on his mind. His grades, his crush on Emily, his nerdy reputation, but none of that compares to what happens next. There's a loud bang. The room shakes as the Power Stone crashes through his window and lands on his desk, right next to his textbooks. Peter freezes, staring at the glowing gem, unsure of what to make of it. The stone pulses with an otherworldly energy like nothing he's ever seen before. Chapter 2. The Power Within. At first, Peter thinks it's some kind of weird space rock. He picks it up, fascinated, but as soon as his fingers touch it, a surge of energy courses through his body. His mind floods with visions of strange worlds, cosmic battles, and incredible power. things he can't fully comprehend. The Power Stone seems to merge with him, its energy fusing with his own. The next day, Peter notices something different. He's faster, stronger, more aware of his surroundings. At first, it's subtle. A sudden burst of strength when he picks up his backpack, a leap that feels a little higher than usual. But by the end of the day, he realizes that the Power Stone has changed him. Chapter 3, The Spider's Web. Peter's powers continue to grow, but so does his confusion. He feels like he's developing abilities that are beyond human, like Spider-Man, but with something extra. He's already got the agility, the quick reflexes, and the ability to stick to walls, but now he feels like he could do anything. He starts to test his new limits, jumping from rooftop to rooftop, running faster than a speeding car, and even lifting cars with ease. But with the Power Stone, there's a dangerous edge to his abilities. The power feels unstable, chaotic, like it could burn him up from the inside. As Peter tries to make sense of it all, he realizes he's not the only one who's been tracking the stone. Darth Vader, aware that the Power Stone is back in the universe, begins to search for it once more. His knowledge of the stone's true power is unrivaled, and he will stop at nothing to claim it for himself. Chapter 4, The Dark Pursuit. Darth Vader, now aware that the stone has fallen to Earth, begins assembling a team to retrieve it. He's not alone in this hunt. Obi-Wan Kenobi, who survived their previous battles over the Power Stone, senses the disturbance in the Force. He knows that the stone's return could tip the scales of power once again, and that Peter Chen, the unwitting new owner of it, is in grave danger. Meanwhile, Peter is adjusting to his new powers, and after a run-in with some local bullies, he decides to step into the role of a superhero, calling himself the Spider-Man of his city. But with each use of the Power Stone's energy, he begins to feel more and more of its dark influence. The stone's power is tempting him, pulling him in a way he can't explain. Chapter 5, A Hero in the Making. Peter is doing his best to balance high school life with his newfound role as Spider-Man, but the weight of the Power Stone is starting to feel heavier. Every time he uses the stone's energy, it drains him, and he's not sure how much longer he can control it. One night, after a confrontation with a local crime syndicate, Peter is confronted by Obi-Wan Kenobi. The Jedi Master, sensing the imbalance in Peter, tries to warn him. The stone you hold is not meant for a mortal like you, young one. You must release it before it consumes you, Obi-Wan urges. Peter, confused and frightened, tries to fight back. He feels the surge of energy from the stone, and for a moment, he's overwhelmed by its power. He narrowly avoids Obi-Wan's lightsaber strike, but the Jedi's words linger in his mind. Can he control this power? Or is he doomed to be consumed by it? Chapter 6, The Coming Storm. As Peter's internal struggle deepens, Darth Vader arrives on Earth, determined to reclaim the Power Stone. His presence shakes the very ground, and the city is thrown into chaos as his forces land and begin to search for the stone. Spider-Man must now face his greatest challenge yet, a battle against the dark forces that seek to claim the Power Stone, all while trying to control a power that's starting to slip out of his grasp. With Obi-Wan's help, Peter tries to resist the temptation of the stone, but Vader's relentless pursuit begins to wear him down. The city's fate hangs in the balance as Spider-Man faces off against Darth Vader. Their fight is brutal, with Peter's newfound strength pushing him to his limits. But in the heat of the battle, Peter realizes something crucial. He doesn't need the stone to be a hero. His true strength lies not in the power he possesses, but in the choices he makes. With Obi-Wan's guidance, Peter makes the ultimate decision. He can't allow the Power Stone to fall into the wrong hands. In a final desperate act, he uses the last of his energy to destroy the stone, breaking its hold on him and sending its remnants back into the cosmos. Epilogue, A New Hero. With the Power Stone gone, the danger is over, for now. Peter Chen returns to his normal life, but something has changed inside him. He's not just the high school kid he was before, he's a hero. Someone who made a choice to protect the world, even when the power he held threatened to destroy him. And as the night sky clears, a new chapter begins for Peter, one where he learns the true meaning of responsibility, knowing that the battles ahead will be far more complex than any he's faced before. The end. Ah, Obi-Wan Kenobi, always with a deep sense of responsibility and understanding of the Force. Let's build on that. Chapter 8, The Struggle for Control. As Peter Chen continues to struggle with the Power Stone's overwhelming influence, Obi-Wan Kenobi, sensing the grave danger it poses to the young hero, arrives once again. This time, his mission is clear. He must take the stone away from Peter before it corrupts him completely. Peter, Obi-Wan says gently, his voice calm yet filled with urgency. I know you want to do good, but the stone, it is a temptation that no one, not even the strongest, can resist. It must be destroyed. Peter, now more confident in his abilities as Spider-Man, stands his ground. I can handle it, Obi-Wan. I've got the power to protect everyone now. I don't need your help. I'm not like you. I don't need a Jedi to tell me what to do. Obi-Wan's eyes narrow slightly, concern evident on his face. He steps forward, his hand outstretched, trying to reason with the young hero. You have great power, Peter, but this power will consume you if you do not let go. It's already begun to change you. You're becoming something else, something dangerous. Peter's grip on the Power Stone tightens. He feels its pull, a buzzing energy that whispers promises of more strength, more control, more victory. His mind races as he struggles with the conflicting urges, the need to prove himself, and the fear of what the stone might turn him into. No, Peter snaps, his eyes glowing faintly from the stone's energy. I won't let go. I can save this world. I am saving it. Obi-Wan steps back, sensing the dangerous shift in Peter's mindset. If you refuse to see reason, I will take it from you. Chapter 9, The Clash of Wills. A tense silence falls between them. Then, without warning, Peter launches himself at Obi-Wan, using his enhanced agility to close the distance in a blur of motion. Obi-Wan ignites his lightsaber, and a soft hum fills the air as he parries Peter's powerful strike. The battle rages on, the young hero using all the strength he's gained from the stone, while Obi-Wan moves with calm precision, always trying to avoid hurting Peter, but unable to give him any more room to wield the stone. You are blinded by your power, Peter, Obi-Wan exclaims, dodging another blow. This path will lead you to ruin. I cannot let you continue down it. Peter hesitates for a moment, but the stone's energy surges again, pushing him forward. I don't need your lectures, Obi-Wan. I've got control. I don't need to be like you, like the Jedi. I'll do it my way. The battle reaches a boiling point, Peter's strength becoming more erratic, unpredictable. The Power Stone is driving him to fight harder, faster, more recklessly. Obi-Wan knows that if this continues, Peter might push himself beyond repair. Chapter 10, The Breaking Point. As Obi-Wan deflects another strike, he uses a swift maneuver to disarm Peter, sending the Power Stone tumbling across the floor. For a brief moment, the power that had consumed Peter begins to fade. He stares at the stone, breathing heavily, but the temptation is too strong. Obi-Wan steps forward, his face filled with sorrow rather than triumph. This is not you, Peter. The power you seek will only hurt you and the people you care about. Let it go. Peter, his eyes filled with conflicting emotions, looks down at the stone. His body trembles with the weight of its energy, but something deep within him stirs, a sense of responsibility, a memory of the lessons he's learned as Spider-Man. The power is not what makes him a hero. With a deep breath, Peter steps back, slowly lowering his hand. I can't keep this, he says quietly, almost to himself. But before Obi-Wan can reach for the stone, Darth Vader's presence overwhelms them both. Chapter 11, The Dark Force. Vader, sensing the stone's near destruction, arrives on the scene, his heavy breath filling the room as he steps into the fray. His lightsaber ignites with a menacing hiss. Obi-Wan, Vader sneers, his voice thick with hatred. You always did think you could control things, but this power is mine to command. Obi-Wan immediately steps in front of Peter, drawing his own lightsaber in defense. Vader, don't do this. The stone is too dangerous for anyone to control, especially you. Vader laughs, his cold voice dripping with malice. You know nothing of power, Obi-Wan. This is the future. This stone will give me everything I need. Before Obi-Wan can react, Vader uses the Force to send a shockwave toward Peter, knocking him back into a wall. The Power Stone begins to glow brighter, as if responding to the sheer force of Vader's presence. It almost seems to call out to him. Peter, struggling to regain his footing, knows this is the moment. He can't let Vader take the stone. It's not about power, it's about protecting the people he loves. Summoning every ounce of strength, he reaches for the stone once again, feeling the pull, but this time with purpose. In a final, desperate move, Peter hurls the stone into the air, using all his might to propel it toward the void. Obi-Wan and Vader both watch as the stone falls into a rift in space, disappearing into the unknown. Chapter 12, The Aftermath. With the stone gone, the battle ends. Obi-Wan and Peter, exhausted but relieved, turn to face Vader one last time. But Vader's expression is unreadable. He knows the game isn't over, that the stone's destruction doesn't mean the war for the universe's power is over. Obi-Wan turns to Peter, a proud but solemn look in his eyes. You've done the right thing, Peter. You chose to protect others over your own desire for power. That is what makes a true hero. Peter, still feeling the weight of the stone's influence within him, nods. I don't think I could have handled much more of that power. It almost broke me. Obi-Wan offers a rare, soft smile. You showed strength today, Peter, and that strength will guide you, even in the darkest of times. Epilogue, the new path. With the stone lost and Vader defeated, Peter Chen continues his journey as Spider-Man. Though the Power Stone's influence has left its mark, Peter learns to rely on his own inner strength, guided by the lessons of those who have helped him. The universe may be filled with chaos and power-hungry villains, but Peter knows that no stone, no power, can define who he is. It's his heart, his choices, and his sense of responsibility that make him a true hero. Would you like to explore more about the consequences of the power? It sounds like you want to dive deeper into Obi-Wan's internal conflict about taking the Power Stone. Let's explore that further. Chapter 9, Obi-Wan's Temptation. As Peter Chen struggles with the Power Stone's influence, Obi-Wan Kenobi remains a silent observer, sensing the growing darkness inside the young hero. He knows better than anyone the dangers of wielding such a force. He's seen it firsthand, with Anakin, with himself, and with the destruction the dark side can cause. Peter, still clinging to the stone, faces Obi-Wan. You don't understand, he says, his voice trembling with both determination and fear. I can handle it. I'm not like Anakin. I'm not going to fall to the dark side. Obi-Wan sighs, his eyes filled with a sadness born of years of painful lessons. Peter, I've watched this story unfold before. Power like this is not something anyone can control, no matter how good their intentions are. Even I. Peter looks at Obi-Wan with confusion. What do you mean? Obi-Wan hesitates, feeling the weight of his own past. Even I have been tempted, Peter. I've held the weight of the galaxy's future on my shoulders, and I've seen what it can do to those who think they are above it. The Power Stone is more dangerous than you realize. For a moment, Peter's resolve wavers. But then, the stone pulses in his hand, its energy seeping into his body, urging him to keep it, to hold on. Obi-Wan steps closer, his hand outstretched. Peter, you don't have to do this alone. Give it to me. I will protect you from this burden. But Peter pulls back, the stone crackling with energy. I can't trust you, Obi-Wan. I can't give it up. If I do, I lose everything. Everything I've worked for. All my power, all my strength. Chapter 10. The test of will. Obi-Wan's gaze hardens, not out of anger, but out of the burden of responsibility. He understands Peter's fears, but he also knows the stone's influence is too great. I don't want to take it from you, Peter, Obi-Wan says softly, but I will if it means saving you from yourself. In that moment, the force around them shifts. Obi-Wan's hand moves with precision, and without warning, he tries to use the force to pull the Power Stone from Peter's grasp. Peter struggles against the invisible pull. The stone fights back, its power flaring as if it recognizes Obi-Wan's intent. For a brief second, Peter feels a surge of strength. His body crackles with raw energy, far stronger than anything he's ever known. He pushes back with everything he has, using the power of the stone itself to resist Obi-Wan's pull. Don't, Peter cries out, feeling the stone's influence clawing at his mind, urging him to keep it. Obi-Wan, sensing the battle within Peter's heart, backs off, his eyes filled with pain. I don't want to hurt you, Peter, but if I must, I will take it from you to save your soul. Peter stares at him, And in that moment, he realizes that Obi-Wan is not just trying to take the stone out of greed or control, he's trying to save him. Chapter 11, The Choice. The energy of the Power Stone swirls around them, a whirlwind of untamed power. Peter feels the temptation to wield it fully, to control everything with its might. He could defeat any enemy, rule the world, never feel weak again. But then, memories flash before him. The times he fought with his friends, the responsibility of being Spider-Man, the sacrifices he's already made. The weight of the power in his hands becomes unbearable. He looks at Obi-Wan, and for the first time, sees the Jedi's wisdom, the burden he carries for the greater good. I can't keep it, Peter whispers, his voice breaking. Obi-Wan's face softens, the tension in his posture easing. He nods. You made the right choice, Peter. With a sigh of relief, Peter releases his grip on the stone, letting it fall to the floor. But the stone doesn't stay still. The energy swirls around it, trying to pull itself back to Peter. Obi-Wan steps forward, his hand outstretched. Chapter 12, A Battle of Wills. Before Obi-Wan can take the stone, the ground trembles, the air around them distorts, and suddenly, the dark, menacing presence of Darth Vader fills the room. The stone's energy flares brightly, sensing the arrival of its true master. You were always too weak, Obi-Wan. Vader's voice rumbles, cold and full of malice. You always underestimated the power of the stone. Obi-Wan steps in front of Peter once more, drawing his lightsaber. I will stop you, Vader. You will not have it. Vader, towering and imposing, ignites his own saber, the crimson blade casting a deadly glow. The stone is mine, old friend, and you will not prevent me from taking it. Peter, still reeling from the weight of his choice, stands at Obi-Wan's side. You won't take it, Vader. Not this time. Chapter 13, The Final Decision. The two former allies clash in a whirlwind of lightsaber strikes and force pushes. The Power Stone, forgotten for a moment, remains at their feet, pulsing with an energy that threatens to consume them all. Peter, feeling the stone's influence again, realizes this is the true test. He's not just fighting Vader, he's fighting the very power that tried to claim him. He must decide once and for all whether to let it control him or give it up. With a sudden burst of clarity, Peter picks up the stone one last time. But this time, it's not the power that calls to him. It's his sense of responsibility. Obi-Wan, Peter says, his voice steady. I'm ready to destroy it. Obi-Wan nods, a rare look of pride on his face. Together, they use the Force to channel their combined energy, and with a final push, the Power Stone shatters in a blinding burst of light. Vader roars in anger, but the stone is gone, its power dissipating into the cosmos. Obi-Wan and Peter stand victorious, the weight of the decision lifting from their shoulders. Epilogue, A New Path. With the Power Stone destroyed, Peter realizes that true strength doesn't come from power. It comes from the choices we make, and from the people we choose to protect. Obi-Wan, having helped Peter face his inner battle, gives him a final piece of advice. The path of a hero is not easy, Peter, but it is the one worth walking. As the two watch the stars, Peter knows that no matter what comes next, he's ready to face it, with or without the stone. How's that direction? Would you like... Got it. Let's dive deeper into Obi-Wan's attempt to take the Power Stone and the conflict that follows. Here's how the scenario could unfold. Chapter 9, The Power Struggle. The Power Stone pulses with a vibrant energy in Peter's hands, glowing fiercely as it threatens to overwhelm him. The young Spider-Man feels the intense weight of the stone's power, its pull almost too strong to resist. In that moment, Obi-Wan Kenobi, ever the Jedi Master, steps forward, sensing the growing danger. Peter, Obi-Wan calls out, his voice calm but tinged with urgency. I know you believe you can control it, but the Power Stone is far more dangerous than you realize. Peter, struggling to maintain his focus, looks up at Obi-Wan, his grip tightening around the stone. I'm not like you, Obi-Wan. I'm not some Jedi. I can handle this power. It's my responsibility now. Obi-Wan's expression. Now we're bringing Vince McMahon into the mix again, with a time machine and the Terminator. Let's take this narrative up a notch. Here's how things could play out. Chapter 13, The Return of the Power Stone. As Obi-Wan Kenobi walks away from Peter Parker holding the Power Stone securely in his hand, a strange hum fills the air. Suddenly, a swirling portal opens in front of them, distorting the fabric of reality. The air crackles with energy, and the ground beneath them seems to tremble. Peter and Obi-Wan turn in surprise. Out of the portal steps none other than Arnold Schwarzenegger, dressed in the iconic gear of the Terminator, leather jacket, sunglasses, and an imposing demeanor. But behind him is something far more extraordinary. A massive, clunky time machine, its gears and wires buzzing with energy. Peter raises an eyebrow, still a little dazed from the recent battle. What in the world? Obi-Wan's hand instinctively tightens around the Power Stone, his Jedi senses alert. This is not good. Arnold, with his signature Austrian accent, steps forward. "I'm here to take the Power Stone back to where it belongs," he says, voice calm yet authoritative. "Vince McMahon sent me." "Vince McMahon?" Peter asks, still trying to process the bizarre turn of events. "Yes," Arnold replies, adjusting his sunglasses. "He created this time machine, and I'm here to retrieve the stone for him. It was sent through time to change the outcome of the battle. He has his reasons." Obi-Wan's eyes narrow. He had heard rumors of Vince McMahon's manipulations through time, but this was something else entirely. The Force seems to resonate with an unknown power from the time machine, as though the very fabric of reality is being twisted by its presence. "You can't have it," Obi-Wan says, stepping forward, the Power Stone still in his grasp. "I won't let it fall into the wrong hands." Arnold looks at Obi-Wan, his expression unreadable. Vince McMahon has plans for it. He believes the stone can be used to change the outcome of many things. Peter looks at Obi-Wan, then at the time machine, his mind racing. "Wait, you're telling me this all has something to do with Vince McMahon? The same Vince McMahon who sent Macho Man Randy Savage into a battle against the Predator? This stone's all tied up in his schemes?" Arnold nods solemnly. "Yes, he has orchestrated events across time, and now he needs the Power Stone to control the future." Obi-Wan, already understanding the weight of such power, steps closer, preparing to use the Force to keep the stone out of Arnold's hands. The Force cannot allow this. The stone is too powerful, and McMahon cannot be trusted with it. But before Obi-Wan can act, the portal behind Arnold flickers again, this time growing larger. Out steps none other than Vince McMahon himself, wearing his trademark suit and smirk. "Not so fast, Obi-Wan," Vince says, his voice dripping with confidence. "I've orchestrated every piece of this. The Power Stone is mine now, and with it I will reshape everything. The universe, the future, everything will be under my control." Peter and Obi-Wan exchange a look. This is more than they ever bargained for. The Power Stone now becomes a symbol of McMahon's ambition, not just in the present, but across time itself. Chapter 14. The Ultimate Showdown. As Vince McMahon steps forward, Arnold stands beside him, his presence as intimidating as ever. Obi-Wan prepares to fight for the stone, but he knows it won't be easy. The situation has become even more complicated now that Vince McMahon has inserted himself into the equation, manipulating time itself to his advantage. "Vince," Obi-Wan says, his voice steady but firm, "you don't understand what you're dealing with. The Power Stone has the potential to destroy the balance of everything. It cannot be controlled by any one person, not even you." Vince chuckles, a glint of madness in his eyes. "You think I don't know that? That's the whole point. If I can control the Power Stone, I can control the entire timeline. I'll make myself the most powerful figure in existence. Forget wrestling, forget all that. I'll be the one who rules it all." Peter, watching this unfold, steps forward. "You're crazy. No one can control that kind of power." Vince turns his gaze toward Peter, and for a moment there's an unsettling silence. "You think you're a hero, Spider-Man?" he sneers. "You're nothing more than a pawn in this game." Before Peter can respond, the ground trembles again. A new figure appears, this time through the time portal, the Predator, revived and more dangerous than ever. The hunter's eyes lock onto the Power Stone in Obi-Wan's hands. "Vince," the Predator growls, "you don't know what you've unleashed. That stone is mine. I've come to claim it." Obi-Wan stands in a defensive stance, the Power Stone glowing brightly between them. "This is a battle we cannot afford to lose, Peter. If McMahon controls the stone, everything will fall into chaos." Peter's eyes flicker between Obi-Wan, McMahon, and the Predator. He knows he has to act fast. The fate of the universe is at stake, and he cannot allow McMahon or the Predator to get their hands on the Power Stone. Suddenly, Peter makes a decision. He springs into action, using the power of the Power Stone to push back against the chaos unfolding around him. His webbing, amplified by the stone, shoots out with precision, grabbing onto McMahon and Arnold, momentarily restraining them. But the Predator lunges, attacking with ferocity, its icy tongue and teeth gleaming. Obi-Wan reacts quickly, using the Force to deflect the Predator's attacks and keep it at bay. Chapter 15. Time Collides. As the battle rages on, it becomes clear that the Power Stone cannot remain in anyone's hands for long. The time machine, its hum growing louder, begins to malfunction. Sparks fly, and the very fabric of reality starts to warp around them. The future, past, and present seem to collide in a swirling maelstrom of energy. "We need to destroy the stone," Obi-Wan says, his voice desperate, "before it's too late." Peter, with his heart racing, realizes the truth of Obi-Wan's words. The Power Stone is a catalyst for destruction, and if it falls into the wrong hands, the entire multiverse could unravel. With a final surge of energy, Peter uses the stone's power to overload the time machine, sending a massive wave of energy that consumes everything in its path. The time portal collapses, the Power Stone slipping from their grasp. The reality around them begins to stabilize, but it's clear that the battle is far from over. The cost of using the Power Stone has been immense, and the consequences of their actions will echo through time for years to come. Would you like to explore the... Alright, now we're really diving into full-on multiverse madness. With Peter Chen, Luke Skywalker, and Macho Man teaming up against the Terminator and The Rock, this battle is about to get even more intense. Here's how it might go. Chapter 16. The Alliance Against the End. Peter Chen, now Spider-Man, stands beside Luke Skywalker and Macho Man Randy Savage. They've just narrowly escaped the collapsing time portal, and now they have to face the ultimate showdown. The Terminator and The Rock are coming, and they have one mission: destroy the Power Stone and everyone who stands in their way. Luke looks at Peter, his eyes intense but understanding. "We need to stick together. If we don't, everything we've fought for will be lost." Macho Man slams his fists together, ready for anything. "Oh yeah, I've been through worse, brother. If the Terminator and The Rock want to bring it, they're gonna get the fight of their lives." Peter clenches his fists, still reeling from the overwhelming power of the stone. "We can't let them get it. We saw what happened when that thing went out of control. We can't afford to make the same mistake again." But before anyone can say more, the ground rumbles beneath their feet. A heavy, mechanical noise fills the air. The Terminator emerges from the distance, its red eyes glowing through the dark haze of the battlefield. Behind it, The Rock strides confidently, his muscles rippling as if ready for a brawl of epic proportions. Finally, The Rock says, cracking his knuckles, "We get to settle this. You think you can stop me, Skywalker? You think you can stop us?" The Terminator's voice is cold and calculated. "Mission: destroy. Power Stone. Eliminate all threats." Luke steps forward, lightsaber in hand, his expression grim. "You won't succeed. Let's make this interesting," Macho Man declares, popping his neck and grinning. "When you mess with us, you mess with the wrong team." "Oh yeah, brother." Peter looks at Luke, then Macho Man, and then back at their opponents. "All right, let's do this." Chapter 17. The Battle of Fates. The clash begins almost immediately. Luke's lightsaber hums to life as he deflects the Terminator's relentless energy blasts, while Peter swings through the air, landing blows with the strength of Spider-Man amplified by his past encounters. Macho Man charges at The Rock, throwing punches that seem to shake the ground beneath them. But this is no ordinary battle. The Terminator and The Rock are powerful, each carrying their own lethal aura. The Terminator's robotic precision makes it nearly impossible to defeat with just brute force, while The Rock's charisma and sheer strength make him a formidable opponent. "Come on, Luke. Show him what you've got." Macho Man taunts as he exchanges blows with The Rock. The two are locked in an intense struggle, neither willing to give an inch. Luke expertly uses his lightsaber to disarm the Terminator, but it quickly regenerates and keeps fighting. Meanwhile, Peter leaps into action, using his webbing to bind the Terminator's limbs, trying to slow it down, but the machine keeps powering through. The Rock, now clearly enjoying himself, taunts Macho Man. You think you've got what it takes? The people's champion will always be the best. Know your role and shut your mouth. Macho Man, fueled by the rivalry, throws a wild punch that connects with the Rock's jaw. Ooh, yeah! I got something for you, you jabroni! He follows up with a series of rapid-fire strikes, forcing the Rock to take a step back. But just as the battle rages, something shifts. The ground trembles again, and both sides feel it. The Power Stone has returned, its power not only affecting the fighters, but causing the very fabric of reality to distort. Do you feel that? Peter gasps, watching the stone glow in the distance. Luke narrows his eyes. We have to get control of it before they do. If they get their hands on it, the multiverse could be destroyed. Chapter 18, A Fight for the Stone. Suddenly, the Terminator shifts gears. It moves with more speed, its tactical programming evolving. Eliminate all threats, acquire Power Stone. It begins to rush toward the glowing stone, its metal body moving faster than before, its red eyes focused only on one thing. Peter reacts quickly, launching himself into the air with a web line, intercepting the Terminator mid-stride. He swings it around and slams it into the ground. Not so fast, Tin Can! Peter shouts. But the Terminator quickly recovers, grabbing Peter by the ankle and Queen Elizabeth heading to the planet Bebop. That's a wild new twist. Let's see how this unfolds. Chapter 20, Queen Elizabeth's journey to Bebop. After the chaotic battle for the Power Stone, Queen Elizabeth finds herself drawn to the mysterious planet Bebop. It's a strange, vibrant world filled with floating islands, neon lights, and a booming techno soundtrack. The inhabitants, a mix of humans and alien species, have a reputation for being eccentric but incredibly resourceful. It's not the kind of place a queen would typically visit, but something pulls her there. As she lands in her royal transport, she steps out, greeted by a mix of awe and curiosity from the Bebop inhabitants. The planet is known for being a hub of entertainment, high-stakes gambling, and rumors of a powerful artifact hidden within its neon-lit underworld have reached her ears. Some say it's a weapon that could shift the balance of power in the universe. Welcome to Bebop, Your Majesty, a mysterious figure says, stepping out of the shadows. It's none other than Spike Spiegel, a bounty hunter and a frequent traveler of Bebop. His hands are tucked into his coat, his eyes scanning the surroundings. I didn't expect to see a royal here, Spike continues, his voice low and smooth, but it seems you've got business in the wrong place. Queen Elizabeth, though far from intimidated by the bounty hunter's cool demeanor, lifts an eyebrow. I'm not here for a fight, Mr. Spiegel. I'm looking for something important. Something that can change the future. Spike smirks. You're not the only one who's chasing that kind of thing around here. Bebop's got more secrets than you can imagine. Chapter 21. The Search for the Artifact. Spike agrees to help Elizabeth navigate the wild, techno-filled streets of Bebop, though not without his usual sarcastic edge. The search leads them through dazzling cityscapes, dark alleyways, and into dangerous underground clubs where powerful figures hold sway. Queen Elizabeth, despite her royal status, quickly adapts to the chaotic and unpredictable nature of the planet. Her calm demeanor and sharp intellect prove useful as she uncovers clues, all pointing to a powerful artifact hidden in the heart of Bebop. Meanwhile, Spike keeps his eye on a shadowy figure that seems to be following them. It's none other than Boba Fett, a mercenary who's tracked them across galaxies. Word has spread about the artifact, and Fett has his own interest in it, though not for now. Queen Elizabeth heading to the planet Bebop. That's a wild new twist. Let's see how this unfolds.
Sorry about that, you guys.